I do believe in demonic entities and in negative spiritual realms and stuff like that. I do believe that if there's good, there's bad.
No, definitely.
Right? I believe in God, so that means there's like the devil. Right? Like I believe that. Right? So when it comes to these topics, I definitely believe that these things matter, because a lot of people try to downplay, like, yo, dude, relax, man, he's just like, it's a joke. But like, it's a joke until it's not a joke.
Exactly.
Right?
I was just gonna say that, bro. It's a joke until it's not, bro. You hear the tea about Jada and Will, bro?
The tea?
The tea.
Like the gossip?
The gossip, bro. Bro, I feel so sorry for Will, bro. Like, he's at the mercy. Jada, bro.
Yo, honestly, I thought like it was like an issue between them two, or I thought like maybe they both had like issues, but I'm starting to think that Jada is a little out there, man.
She's definitely out there. Bro, she had her entanglement with what's the guy's name? August.
The young guy, right?
Yeah. I forget his name. August Asania or something
entanglement.
Like that. Yeah, entanglement. That's what she described it. Bitch, you cheated.
What did she do now? Bro? She's always doing something. Bro, Will Smith is like literally him and probably like, I want to say what, like Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
The two favorite actors, man.
Oh, 100%. 100%, bro. Will was OG with his raps and all that too. Like he was crazy with the lyrics. Like he was a great actor, bro. Bad Boys, man. Bro, those movies, Independence Day, bro. 7 Pounds.
Yeah,
that was a deep movie, bro. He literally gave up his life. That was crazy.
That was a good movie.
Emotional, bro. And this guy like gives his all, bro. It sucks that he's like going through all this nonsense. It's extra like backlash.
Yeah,
you know? I feel like I don't know.
What's the backlash though? Like what happened now?
So apparently they're still going through troubles in their relationships. Apparently there's still rumors going around, and like I think they addressed the rumors recently that said they're pretty much not in a monogamous relationship. They're not in your traditional sort of marriage. They were caught between, and I think these are Jada's words, they were caught between some illusion where they thought they could make each other happy. Which, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, how do you have an illusion? Like, obviously you're in that moment, you love that person, you know? Like, this is the perfect segue from that last episode. Yeah, love.
Which, by the way, our audience has noticed that we probably missed.
Yeah. First off, we're bad.
we had an entanglement problem. We had an entanglement problem.
I'm dead. Yeah, no, but like for real though, we like life hit us both hard.
Yeah.
That's the facts, and like we didn't have much time for ourselves, much less like anything else. You know what I mean? Like that happens with life.
Dude,
know?
I mean, I don't have all the information going back to like what you were saying about Will Smith, but my man, I think he needs just to separate from
man. Yeah, he needs to cut ties with Jada, man. Like, I get them. I get it. They're raising kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they have a family together and that and whatnot. Their kids are pretty old now. I don't know exactly how old they are, but they're grown.
I just saw an article, so I know. So he had a kid with the first marriage. He's 28, and then Jaden is 23, and Willow's like 21 or something.
Yeah, so his kids are all adults. Yeah, right? They probably understand everything that they're going through. But you know what? I feel like their kids are gonna see this through the lens of their parents, and then they're gonna see it through social media.
Yeah,
and hear from their friends and all that. You know, that's not gonna be, especially in those like early 20s, the forming years. Yeah, it's not gonna be healthy for them. You know, it's gonna be a tough road.
Yeah.
For you to grasp and fathom, like the two people you grew up with, like mom and dad, like were caught in an illusion.
Yeah.
So now everything that they think they feel is it gonna be real? Is it gonna be an illusion? You know, like that's how I would think. I'd be caught in like some sort of a weird denial, some sort of fantasy of denial. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy, but is this real?
Because you project whatever they're like creating, some reality that they're creating is what they're teaching their kids.
Exactly.
Right? We can make our own reality, everybody potentially. So then you teach that to you pass that over to your kids.
Exactly. They're gonna say, you know what, mom and dad, like all those happy trips, those vacations that we did, the houses that we lived in, all the happiness we felt, all the Christmases, all the holidays, like was that all an illusion? You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
and it discounts the value of all those experiences for those kids.
Dude, it kills me because it does have a perfect segue from our last episode, right? Where it's like the illusion that marriage and love is about happiness. Right. A lot of it is about commitment, and like I had this talk with I don't know if it was Antonio, I forget who it was, but it was about like that commitment
Right.
sometimes isn't good, right?
It's
Like
true.
it's not fun.
It's true.
You know, but the commitment, it's a responsibility that you have. And it's not
Right.
always going to be like jolly and happy and lovey,
right.
you know? But honestly, wait, before we continue, I want to welcome back everybody to the Out of Chaos podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for all the love we've been getting. We missed an episode, but we're back.
We're back
with a vengeance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're a little rusty. I think. No, are we rusty?
Nah, we got
we're
this.
naturals.
Yeah.
We're naturals. No, but I just want to invite everybody back because I'm excited, man. This is something I love doing so much. It's such an amazing experience. I wanted to do like a boys only episode because we've had amazing guests
Right.
in the last couple of episodes.
Right on.
And I wanted to slow it down and talk about talk about us now.
Yeah,
right? Like,
what we've got going on,
we've learned actually from all these episodes too.
Oh, 100%.
Right? I think that we've started to dive into this mental health / meaning of love.
Exactly.
Consistent topic.
Exactly.
Right?
We were able to reflect on that and bring out the aspects of those topics in our own independent lives. You know, I feel like that's what's more valuable to the audience because everybody's got a story, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of what we say isn't just a one-off. A lot of what we say is because of the culture we've been raised in, the things that we've go through, and a lot of people out there relate to that. And I strongly enjoy. That's one thing about this podcast. We just don't do this for the money or whatever. We enjoy doing this. This is out of pocket. You know, this is literally we love communicating with the audience. We love expressing, meeting new people, providing them a platform. You know,
and we have a bunch of guests coming up that are going to be very interesting, whatever. And like I said, the goal is to try to get to know their struggles and their experiences. Not really to be hey, you made this song, what's up?
Exactly.
You know, we can have that, but it's mostly about the going in depth, right? Last episode with Shiv, and then the episode with my cousin Alex. We went pretty deep on those topics, right?
Yeah.
I definitely think that it's one of the topics that I wrote down for today was the importance of venting.
Okay.
The reason why is because, dude, I do believe, especially the pandemic is almost over. I guess you want to say that people are starting to go out, and but now the holidays are coming, which I've always believed to be the saddest time of the year for a lot of people that don't have families and don't have money. Right. So it's a loop where people don't really recover and they can't vent.
That's true.
The topic with Alex, the episode with Alex really touched me, bro, because I've never been the person to kind of go into one single topic feminism and poor girls or guys or this thing. I usually like to help a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But understanding that lately I've seen a lot of men suffer from not being able to speak or not being heard.
Right.
It's kind of getting me into that now.
You know what it is, bro? I think we talked about this in one of the first episodes I was on. We just touched on it briefly, but male trauma is sort of discounted by society.
Yeah.
You're not really allowed to express your trauma, express your struggles as much. You're not accepted as much. Nowadays, more than you used to, but still not enough. You know what I mean? So many guys that I know, they go through these struggles and they go through repetitive issues on hand and just deal with it mentality, you know? It's just and that's good. It builds resilience, right? But those same guys, they'll explode at some point in some aspect. They'll overreact to something. And everybody's reaction and overreaction will be different. Yeah. You know? It'll be relative. So, for example, one guy, super nice guy, example A, he can be the nicest guy you've ever met. Yeah. Right? But he's going through stuff like we all do, and he's holding it in, keeping it in. And he might just one day swear, right? Out of nowhere. And this guy usually doesn't swear. You know, and you're oh, that's out of pocket, that's out of character. Why is this guy why is he swearing? He never swears. You know, a prof or something. Somebody like that in a high sort of stature profession, right? Versus somebody works construction, he'll swear all the time. Yeah. But he might go home and be so angry, explode, slam the door, break the drywall, something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? These guys will react differently, but the act, the explosion, that's because they don't get the opportunity to vent. People don't listen.
And that's
when guys want to vent.
I completely agree. And like I always have in mind that like when we talk about something, I want it to relate to everybody. And like I guess I want to ask you before like I continue, like how would you say this, like I say for our female listeners, right?
Right.
Why would this be important to them? Why is men's mental health and the lack of like us being able to maybe speak on it or vent important to them, would you say?
I feel like then they would be able to understand, like, you know, men aren't just this definition that society has brought us to believe. You know, we are humans. We have that human nature. We all have a soft side of us.
Yeah.
Like as much as like your macho man wants to deny that, you know what I mean? We all have that sentimental side. Like, for example, put a baby in the hands of a man. Put a puppy in the hands of a man. You know, let's say they're not allergic to dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I'm saying? Yeah. They become the softest like humans possible. Like some of the like strongest men. You know what I mean? And like it really like in that moment, I'd be lying if I didn't say it humanizes them, so to speak. Right? It like not only internally for themselves. Like I've had that experience before. It humanizes you. You feel like, you know, like, wow, there's a greater purpose to life.
Yeah.
You know, wow, this is the sweetest thing, you know? And I feel like that's something that it's powerful with somebody, like for guys, to be able to understand and to acknowledge those emotions.
Yeah.
And those feelings with them.
Yeah. For me, I would say that like if girls are interested in a decent man,
right,
it's in your best interest to understand the things that are unsaid or in secret, which I think a lot of guys can relate.
Right.
That it's not being able to talk about your problems,
right,
or talking about your problems and not being heard. It actually happened to me, and I'm not saying this to bash these girls, but when I was going through a breakup, like the day of, like where it was ending, I had coworkers and I love them. They're amazing, right?
Right.
But at that moment, I just felt so down. I went to the back room of where I was, and I just sat on the floor and I just started crying. I needed to do that at that moment. So these two girls, they came in, they're my coworkers, and they're like, "Oh no, sweetie, no." And then they lifted me up, and like, "Don't do that, don't cry."
Right.
And like, I know their heart, like I know they meant well, but like, they didn't say that like and ask me and be there for me after. They kind of just told me to stop crying.
Right.
And then I think even one of them said like, "Oh, like, you know, you gotta be strong, man, don't cry," something like that, right?
Right.
So I realized like we're not allowed to show that a lot of times, you know?
Right.
Like at that moment, I just needed to like vent, like not vent, but needed to cry. I just needed 100%. To just sit on the floor in the corner and just cry for a bit. Yeah. You know, 5 minutes later, I would have been okay.
Right.
But at that moment, I got lifted up, and not in a good way, but like just lifted up physically. Right. And told to stop crying. Yeah. And a lot of times it's like, you know what, shut up, do your job. Or,
literally,
know?
It's almost like they're saying your emotions aren't valid right now. Like, why are you acting like this way? It's almost like they think we're putting on an act. Yeah. You know, it's like why are you like this? Like guys don't cry, or like guys don't get hurt, or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like guys aren't allowed to like that. You know what I mean? Like guys should be allowed to express all of what they feel. Yeah. You know, like I'm sure we talk to a psychologist or like somebody like talks to trauma patients. Like I'm pretty sure there'll be just as many guys as there are girls. If not, there might be more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not discounting that women should go through trauma at all. I'm not. But more guys are, like, unheard. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm sure it'd be interesting to look up suicide rates.
So, I was actually going to say, Jordan Peterson was talking about that. He goes, suicide rates are higher in men.
There you go.
And he one crazy statistic that he gave that, like, left me is that he goes, like, men are more efficient in committing suicide than women. Wow. So I don't know if they try to commit the same amount, but let's just say they both commit the same amount, 50-50. Yeah. Men are more successful at it. They're more lethal at it. Right. And obviously more men in jail. So I wanna play devil's advocate a little bit and be like, there's a reason why girls might discount us. Okay. And I feel like the reason they do is because men go from one extreme, which is not saying nothing, to being violent, being cheaters, wife beaters, and stuff like that. Which I don't blame them for, like being like, no, like stop crying or act a little tougher, because they're so used to us or like not me or you, but like people other men being dogs and cheaters and wife beaters and stuff like that, right?
Right. They kind of have that like preconceptualization of like what men should be, you know, and what is expected, and probably based on, you know, what they see growing up.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen my dad cry, but I'll tell you how many times that I understand now that he could have used a shoulder.
Yeah.
When he was going through this or that, like, he could have used that kind of support. And I'm not saying he didn't get it, because like he went through a lot of things when I was just a kid, right? Yeah. He had my mom there, he had us there. Like, we had like a bunch of dogs that probably like he used as like, you know, therapy and whatever. Like, but like there's plenty of times that I remember him going through stuff like business issues, financial struggle, like, you know, failures here and there, and like picking himself back up, where I know like if I were there, if I were like old enough, I would have been his teammate, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, in certain aspects, I would have like taken some of that load off of him. But I was just a kid, and I know now that, you know, he would have needed that sort of support at certain points of his life, because I definitely need it.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
And I'm no less or greater of a man than he is in that regard. Like, we all need that like help. Doesn't matter how bad you are or how good you are. Like, everybody needs that support. That emotional ear, you know.
No, I completely agree. Going back to like the Will Smith thing, I saw a quote from him that actually was so crazy, which is, we can kind of segue to this other topic, which is, he said, it's not the right quote, but from what I remember the quote, it's like, it's funny that every time you stand up for yourself, it's funny that whenever you start standing up for yourself, people call you difficult.
Right.
And that's something I've always told people that have been more agreeable and more like shy to stand up for themselves. Yeah. That people are so used to like them stepping all over you. Yeah. That the moment you kind of like say, "Hey, stop." Yeah. They're like, "Stop being so difficult to deal with." Like, you become the difficult one. Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say, because all your life you've been used to probably like being stepped on.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like what this show is about is always balance. And the thing is, I've seen a lot of people that stop getting stepped on, but then overcompensate by not allowing anybody to tell them what to do.
Right.
And that's wrong as well. And that's kind of where I was when I was growing up. Yeah. I was always stepped on, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a voice. But then I started being a little too aggressive. Okay. With my approach. No, don't tell me what to do. Don't this, right?
Yeah. But then like when you talk to your principal. Yeah.
Yo, but it's different, man. Like,
no, I get that. I get kidding.
No, I got triggered now. No, like, literally, yo, dude, I come back from my I had skipped the morning class. Yeah, I was a good student. No, I skipped the morning class. I came back to my second half of like the day, and lunch was like 5 minutes before. I lied. It was right before lunch. I went back to school. Okay, and it was 5 minutes left of the class before lunch started. You know, right? Yeah. So like lunch was about to start. 5 minutes before lunch started, I go to school. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to class. Class is like done in 5 minutes. Exactly. So I'm just going to go to the cafeteria and study. I pull out my book. Principal comes. He goes like, go to class. I'm like,
it's done in like 3 minutes.
It's done in 3 minutes. And he's like, I'll walk you to class. I'm like, you're just being like, you're just picking on me. He's like, no, I'm not. Go to class. And he closed my book. And I'm like, don't touch my book. He's like, I can touch it if I want. I'm like, so I got up. I'm like, you know what? Keep it. Right? And I walked away. He's like, I don't want to keep it. And he pushed the book, and the book went sliding and fell on the floor.
No.
Dude. And that's
I would have got triggered, bro.
I triggered. I'm like, you know what? And I said all these things that I regret now. Right? Yeah. But like I just said all these things. And then he goes like, you know what? Get out of my school. Don't ever come. I'm like, I'm at your school. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be here. I'll go gladly.
I mean, is that a rebel? Like, maybe. But like at the same time, like, don't throw my book. Like, don't close my book. Don't touch my stuff. Like,
exactly. But what I'm trying to get at, you know, like that action is you standing up for yourself.
Yeah, because come on, like he was speaking on me like 3 minutes before class to be like, go to class. Come on, man. Like, that's not being like
that's not fair. That's not reasonable at all. Like, at all. I'd be, if I was that principal and I see a student there, like he's like, he should be in this class or whatnot. I'm like, what time's your class end? Oh, in 5 minutes. All right. You know what? You're studying. You have an exam today. I would make conversation. You know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, yeah. Like, make sure you study, or like make sure you talk to teacher Duncan. I don't know, whatever. Whatever random name. Whatever your teacher's name, Mr. Duncan or whatever, and like ask him, like, you know, I would say to that kid, you know, talk to the teacher, ask him about the test, ask him like what to expect, you know, like I would at least give the kid some like constructive advice, not like slam a book and like show and need to show like I'm in a position of power. We know that you're a principal.
Yeah,
I mean, like you are in a position of power. I hate that's something else I want to talk about. People that over abuse their positions of power.
Oh man, that's
bro.
We can be here all night. We'll be here all night.
But you know, it happens. Happens with cops.
Yeah.
Happens with like law enforcement.
And anybody in a position.
Bro, it happens like in my field, like I'm in athletic therapy. Like oftentimes when we have to call EMS or paramedics, they come out to the field. Most of them are good for it.
Yeah.
But definitely the old generation, they don't want to hear anything we have to say. In their eyes, we're not healthcare. In their eyes, we're trainers. You know what I mean? Like, so the vitals we record, they don't even look at it. Like in terms of heart rate, blood pressure, like pulse rate, pupil like status, and like skin like condition, whatever the condition might be, spinal or whatever. They don't want to hear any of that. They just go in and they do their fresh evaluation. Which, yeah, I get it. You're more trained than we are. However, you taking an extra 5 to 10 minutes to like reassess what I already have showed you, is not in the best like interest of that athlete. So I've had paramedics that actually like came on the scene, looked down at me, like don't care about what I have to say, like in a position of power, right? And they're like, okay, you're just gonna do what we tell you to do. Hold on to his head here, don't let go. I'm like, okay, I'm very much more useful than that. You can get coached to do that. You know what I mean?
You know what's more like scary and power than like a cop or a paramedic or a stupid principal?
What's that, bro?
Dude, like I don't know how much you believe into in the whole like spirituality realm stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like, do you believe in like the power of like demonic stuff and like subliminal messaging? Like, obviously subliminal. Like, what's your opinion on subliminal message? It doesn't have to be demonic. It can be just like any kind of subliminal. You know how like if an ad can have like a little like Nike sign, and then you start thinking of Nike,
right?
Nike,
you like associate that with something else.
Yeah, so it's like a subliminal message, right? Yeah. Because what I'm kind of referring to is like the whole thing that happened with Astroworld. I know everybody's talking about that, but it brings up a really important topic of like, well, in this case, they're talking about the subliminal messages in the demonic stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, but before that, what's your opinion like on subliminal? Do you believe in that, or
well,
what?
Definitely. Like, I feel like the people that put messages in there, like, they're doing that for a reason, right? Because our interpretations of those messages are all different, right? And it's only until we're like brought to a realization, you know, like they could say ABC, you know, in what they say, but then like ABC could also mean something else. You know what I mean? It can always be interpreted something else. And then like you take a really good, not really good conspiracy theorist, so to speak, but somebody who can understand these messages, and then they'll awaken you to the real meaning to a lot of these things. You know, like I can't remember what it was, but like I think it was one of Rihanna's first like breakout like music videos. Everybody was like, "Oh man, that's demonic." You know what I mean? I'm like, "What do you mean? Like it's just a cool song." I can't remember what the song is right now. If I find it, like I'll update the podcast next time. But like, yeah, that was one of those things that kind of hit home, and so did like Lil Nas X. In the shoes that he dropped,
the blood
right?
Drop,
he dropped like,
which is that's fishy.
99, and that's really fishy. That's weird, man. That's 99 pairs of shoes with like a drop of human blood in them each. First off, that's so waste because there's so many people that need blood. You know what I mean? Like, why are you wasting blood on Nike shoes? Like, why are you putting blood in people's shoes?
People need that.
People need that blood. What are you saying? You know what I mean? And like, first of all, like, secondly, like, who the wants like blood in their shoe?
But that's the thing. I want to put that out there, and, and you can like, this is my opinion, but like you can say yours, right? And for me, I want to put it out there before we start talking about it, is I do believe in demonic entities and in negative spiritual realms and stuff like that. I do believe that if there's good, there's bad.
No, definitely.
Right? I believe in God, so that means there's like the devil. Right? Like I believe that. Right? So when it comes to these topics, I definitely believe that these things matter, because a lot of people try to downplay, like, yo dude, relax man, he's just like, it's a joke, but like it's a joke until it's not a joke.
Exactly. Right? I was just gonna say that, bro. It's a joke until it's not, bro. Literally.
But what's a better way to show these messages? It's like hiding in plain sight. It's so outrageous that people think it's not real, right? But it's real.
It is real. Like
So,
they're starting to not hide them anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like music videos are outright like flashing images or like black and white images with like demonic signs or symbols, or gang signs have like double meanings and something like that. Like this is like your devil horns, but it's also like I love you in like sign language.
Spider-Man.
And, like Spider-Man.
So like it's crazy because I think not that I outgrew it, but I'm Christian, right?
Yeah.
But in our denomination of Christianity, when I was younger, they were really into that, and I didn't agree with it. And now that I'm older, like I kind of separated from that, but I still somewhat agree. So one of the biggest things that was very popular growing up as a Christian was the subliminal messages of Disney.
Oh yeah.
So there was this thing that Mufasa, when he, Simba, when he gets tired, he kind of like falls down, and then dust.
Yeah.
You know how like the dust goes to like Rafiki?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Rafiki realizes that he's alive.
Right.
So that dust, when it forms, it's supposed to say SEX.
No way.
And if you do, you can do it. But the counter argument was that it was a joke of the FX. What is it? SFX team.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was SFX.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of Disney
but like
subliminal kind of like
supposedly
sexual
like the rescuers.
references. Yeah.
There's like a part where like the mouse they're flying.
Okay.
And there's actually like a naked woman at the bottom, and that's confirmed. Like it was like an employee that was just messing around. I think it was like a naked woman animated like in a window.
Wow.
Yeah. Like so, bro, I do believe these things, man. And going like straight to the Astroworld stuff, like 8 people died, a bunch of people were injured.
Right.
And the biggest topic apart from the deaths is definitely the subliminal, demonic, and spiritual messages that were surrounded that, which like all those people that are mourning the 8 people that died are relating that to like somebody was gonna die, because all the one message that was so cryptic to me was that it's one of the mottos of the concert was "See you on the other side." Imagine for the people that died and the families are grieving.
That's crazy.
Like, you know, and there's a scene where like one of the guys is passed out.
Yeah.
I assume he died, and like Travis Scott is like singing, and then he kind of stops and he starts like doing auto tune, like while they do like CPR on him. He goes like yeah, like just saying yeah, and the comments were like, imagine it's like you're dying and then all you hear is like yeah.
Oh my
auto tune.
God. Bro, that's nuts. That's nuts. Because I also read and I saw like in a police interview that this police was confirming like somebody was like using some sort of like biological agent, like injecting people in the neck.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like apparently a kid as young as 14 got injected and died. You know what I mean? Like the cop reports like somebody was reaching over to help somebody else, and then he felt a prick in his neck.
Yeah.
Upon evaluation, they found that he actually had an injection in his neck, like of whatever substance. Like the news will tell.
Narcan, I think it was called. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like the news are gonna they're gonna put it out there, like what that substance is. They're gonna have to trace, who has access to that substance, who's at that concert. Yeah. Because of COVID tracing, I'm assuming everybody that at that concert was accounted for. You know what I mean? At least.
Dude, but not fun facts. I'm taking that back.
Yeah.
Fact, friggin' people stormed the concert.
Damn.
They broke in.
So then you don't know.
Thousands of, I don't know, not thousands, like hundreds of kids, like literally just like, so it was already overcrowded. Yeah. And then on top of that, people broke in.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So like why we're bringing this up is because people who are skeptical of like the demonic stuff or God or whatever.
Right.
People who are skeptical have one question. Like if like all this means nothing,
right?
Why does it always have to have this kind of subliminal messages,
right? And these connotations. Like if it means nothing, why do these like tragedies? Because that's what this is. That's a disaster. It's a tragedy, right? You know what I mean? Like, why do they always have this sort of like demonic connotation or demonic reference or relation? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like you're singing to kids. I get that you're trying to sell, right? But like you're already like connecting to so many kids over Fortnite. Because that's where he sort of connects with a lot of kids, right? Travis Scott over Fortnite, right? Like he has his concert on Fortnite. That's over COVID. Yeah. Like he has his own skins on Fortnite. Like people like play Fortnite, know Travis Scott. They might not even know his music, but they know who he is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they know he's like entertainer or whatever. And like, why mix your children's platform with demonic entities or entities that can be construed as demonic? You know what I mean? Like, why leave that up for, like, why?
Dude, so, like, the reason why that's, like, crazy is because the shirt he was wearing, they were little people that were in blue.
Yeah.
They were entering a portal, and then when they came out, they were red with horns.
Oh my god!
Right?
Like
So,
that's obvious as obvious gets. That doesn't take any like some next level of like skepticism or anything to understand that. That's plain as day. You go in blue, you come out red with horns.
And no, like that's literally the graphic on his T-shirt that he had, right?
Wow.
And again, like skeptics will always be like this and this and this, but like again, like one common theme that you always see with these concerts or like these people are always these like weird subliminal things, like that whole blood drop in the shoe. Like
in
why?
The shoe. Like,
just
why
be a normal person.
Exactly. Just you know what? I'll be very honest with you. He would probably sold more shoes without that blood in it.
Yeah.
Cause people love Lil Nas X or loved Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
Like even the people that do love him was like, like me. Like I liked his music for sure. I like his music, right? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that was a weird move. That was a weird flex. Like
sketchy.
There's so many people that agree with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so unnecessary. Like why are you doing that? It's almost like they're in this sort of like higher power like cult, so to speak, where they have to do something out of pocket to be validated. You know what I mean?
Dude, and it's always something too, right? Because some of the notes that I took, it was the fact that like supposedly the stage, and remember everything that's like that we say, there's always a skeptic to be like, oh yeah, it's just a stage, right? It's just a symbolism, right? But some of the examples I can give is like the stage was literally long and it was an inverted cross. It looked like an inverted cross, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously, there's like a flying phoenix that was on fire. One of the posters I was promoting the festival, it was Travis Scott, but he looked like a goblin. He had pointy teeth, He had pointy teeth and pointy ears.
Damn.
He had that message where it says like, see you guys on the other side or stuff like that.
Damn,
so like, man, it's like if I make a concert and like, of like the pyramid of Egypt or like the Nile River and like some Egyptian women like just chilling in the back, like and like how like they always relate the pyramid with the eye and stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
So like I don't know, all those stuff like especially being like a Christian man, that stuff sketches me out, man. Because why can't you just have a concert?
It sketches me out too, bro. And I'm not Christian. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Like,
That's dude. I saw a TikTok that of some guy saying, "I don't believe in spirits. I'm not a spiritual guy." But I can't deny that there was some demonic like stuff going there. Like there so for him to even say that,
bro.
Like,
which concert do people get injected with like a biological agent, bro? This is literally like what we were talking about like 10 years ago. Like countries are gonna go to war with biological weapons. So like less casualties, more specified like danger to your population, and less like you know what I mean? Like because like who's to say? Like let's say country A, I'm gonna like fire this nuke that's gonna like spread this virus into your country. You won't even know it lands. It's landing in your ocean, and then like all of a sudden everybody's contaminated. But my people have the antidote. Yo, what's to stop that from happening?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like rather than versus like what happened in Japan and like when they like bombed Hiroshima. Like that's physical destruction. You know that was the means at which they could demonstrate power in that time. But like right now, people are being injected with undetectable biological agents. Like how are you gonna scan for that? Like you have a needle. Okay, yeah, sure. Your insulin, I get it,
dude.
Like,
but
you're diabetic.
But like and I don't want to judge anybody, right? Because like we all have our issues and stuff. But like for me, even what happened here in Toronto and Veld, wasn't there like pills on the floor that people were overdosing and stuff? Like people are so skeptical to believe in a higher power, like a god or goodness in people, but they're quick to like do these things where you're out of your mind and you're like crushing people and you're just like having like orgies and stuff like that,
literally.
hurting people. So like it's so interesting that like there's skeptics that will deny this, but there's 8 kids that were innocent. Like and we're talking about kids, right? Like which
children, bro, like youngins, bro, like 10 years old, 14 years old.
I do question why were they there that late? It was like 3 in the morning.
The thing is though, that's probably why they were there. The Fortnite thing. These kids are probably like, oh, you know what? Like Travis Scott. Like I know Travis Scott, Dad and Mom. Like, excuse me.
That is true. I saw that concert on Fortnite.
Right. I play Fortnite. Like I've seen him. Sorry. A lot of people like entertain him. Like all of my boys or whatever. Yeah. Like I'm going with my group of friends. Let's say like maybe there was a teenager there supervising them all, and he's also playing Fortnite. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but like still, you shouldn't be promoting that kind of stuff to kids. You know what I mean? Like there's an age for everything. You know, like they have to be able to understand good before they can understand what is bad.
But I think, like, I want to again play the devil's advocate. There are parents that be like, "There's nothing wrong. It's like the devil doesn't exist."
Right.
That's why these things happen, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like, and as much as maybe now that I'm older, I consider those things to be, like, I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon as a kid. I wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z. Now that I'm older, like, I feel like those things wouldn't have affected me. Like, I did watch some Pokemon. I did watch other stuff. I don't think it affected me where, like, I'm a violent guy. No. But then I asked myself, maybe if I was more into spiritual stuff, like bad stuff when I was younger and I was doing bad things, maybe the spiritual stuff with me being a bad guy connects and it causes this subliminal message to activate. Because maybe I was a little naive. I was kind of naive when I was growing up. Right? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I feel like me being naive, like, if there wasn't any subliminal messages, I was just maybe too dumb to, like, receive it.
To pick it up.
But there's kids that I knew my age that were like, they were like really open.
They were into that.
They were into stuff like that. They would like play Ouija and they would like.
No way.
Like I was never like that. I was just calm. I would just play with my Nintendo.
Me too. Me too. I definitely had kids like that too. Like they would tell the scariest campfire stories.
Yeah. So I feel like those kind of people.
Yeah.
Not saying they're bad. Just more people that are more aware, more awake at a young age. Younger age. When they meet with these subliminal messages of like maybe video games or Dragon Ball Z or whatever, it does affect them in some way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember this one kid in my high school back home. Like he thought that if he would scream and get like super angry, he'd get stronger.
Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
Yo, have you seen that kid? Have you seen that kid that tried to turn Super Saiyan?
No, I didn't. This guy I'm telling you about literally did that.
Yo, it was some kid on YouTube. Like, literally, he's like, watch me turn Super Saiyan. And, like, he's serious. It was, like, a 2009 or something.
Holy.
Like, when, like, the first, like, YouTube videos. He's like, ah.
He's screaming,
for, like, good, like,
flexing everything.
2 minutes,
probably, like, shit himself.
And then somebody made the edit.
Yeah.
And, like, he goes, like, and he starts, like, his eyes almost go backwards. Literally. No, but somebody made the edit and gave him, like, Goku blonde hair. I was like,
let's go. Oh, man, that's funny.
But I do believe that some of these things do affect, which, bro, this conversation can segue into, like, are video games bad for younger kids?
Right,
like, you know, all that. We need a psychologist on to, like, talk about
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. That'd be sick to have a psych on, to, like, just talk to them and ask them about all these things that, you know, that we're trying to validate. In ourselves to a certain extent, and with our audience too, because a lot of people resonate with what we're saying, especially the first topics we talked about, the men needing help, venting, you know, like the psychology behind demonic and subliminal messages, bro. Those are some crazy topics to talk about. I think
that's like everybody that unless there's anybody that wants to like say no, they can comment or message. But everybody that I've known that has played Ouija board, you know what that is, right?
Yeah. It's where you you let the spirits move the thing. So
everybody that I know that has played that, has been affected and seen demonic things after.
No way.
Yeah, and there isn't one person I know that has played that.
No way.
Keep
that away from me. Jesus, I don't want that near me, yo,
dude. Yeah, man. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these things are real.
Yeah, they are.
And like, again, I like, you know, our friend, our coworker Lanny, right? Like, he's very skeptical about like these things, and like, I want to have him on. We can talk about. Like, his thing is like, that's not true. They lied about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, no. But shout out Mike Lanny.
Shout out Mike Lanny.
Yeah. We'll do what Alex said. Boop boop. Lots of gunshots that episode. Yeah. But there's always gonna be those skeptics, right? But like, I definitely. I think I try to find that balance because as a kid growing up, I did see that it was a little bit religious, where it's like, don't watch that, that's demonic, that's spiritual. And I do believe it's true. I just don't, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like there's a balance to things.
I had friends back home who were also like raised Catholic, and they would tell me the same things. Like, this isn't the first time I'm hearing this. They couldn't watch Pokemon, Digimon, like anything, especially Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like the king of all.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
There's like the shadow realm, you know what I mean? Like, literally, like they did not hold back. They were literally all of everything was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was essentially monsters from a different realm or different dimension.
Yeah.
Like battling, like some of the episodes, like even linked like the the characters' lives were linked to these monsters on a card. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. It was super weird. And how all these different things about mind control and like different like elements to like an item representing something or giving you a power to do something. Like there was an eye. It's called the Millennium Eye. Let you see through stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you would have to sacrifice your eye to have that power, that ability. Yeah. And there's also this thing. It was a Millennium Rod. I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell.
I'm like, wait. How do you know all this?
I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. I had the cards. I had everything.
Nice.
Yeah. But like, there's a rod called Millennium Rod. You literally, like, within the rod lived that evil spirit. So they weren't holding back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this evil spirit, like, possessed you over time, affected the way you thought, affected the way you saw things.
And this is for little kids.
This is for kids, bro. This is for kids. And they sold these cards for kids.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I remember that. I remember being woke. I was like, you know what? This is actually out of pocket. I have, in one hand, I have Pokemon, which people say is demonic. And then the other hand, I have Yu-Gi-Oh, which is actually demonic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, but they were great entertainment for me as a kid. Because I knew where to separate beliefs and idealisms, you know, like.
And that's what I'm saying. I think like kids, like maybe like us, that we were a little more naive, or not, like more innocent.
Right.
Like, we weren't that awake to like the negativity and the evil in the world.
Right.
We didn't accept it. But kids that were, I think those are the kind of people, and not just kids, I'm pretty sure there are adults like that too.
Oh yeah.
That get affected a lot. Because remember that whole black magic story on episode 9?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if I was the kind of guy that believed in that stuff, or that was weak-minded, I feel like those things can affect. And that's a whole different topic, dude. We kind of talked about that with like the folklore creatures, right?
Yeah, we
like
did.
Back home, dude, that. Black magic, voodoo, all that is
voodoo,
and it works. I've heard stories that it works.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, like, it's interesting. There's never enough time, man. We got a continuation. Hopefully we can get. No, I was gonna say we get a witch here, but nah, hell no. No, yeah. Where's the salt? No.
Yeah, bro.
No, but and then but we hopefully we get a psychologist. Any psychologist out there?
Yeah.
DM.
Bro, I was thinking of bringing on our buddy Luca, bro. Let's bring on Luca like in a couple episodes.
Yeah, he has some crazy stories.
He does have some crazy stories, bro. Guy was stabbed in the neck.
Oh.
Like, are you kidding me, bro? He's 21, bro. Yeah. This guy's crazy. He's taking life by the horns.
Yeah, man. We love doing this. We do it for you guys, and keep sending the love. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, smash that like button, comment,
hit that notification bell,
hit it.
Let's go.
Share, and just know that we'll be here for the next one. All right,
so love you guys.
Out of chaos, out.
Peace.